If I were you, I'd consider, you don't need to do it, but I would consider sending it to several major news outlets with a notice that I'm going to let people know you guys have this footage and you refuse to show it if you refuse to show it. This should be breaking news. I'm going to send you the footage and I'm going to get a certified copy that you received it so that I can prove you received it. And then I'm going to call you out if you just sit on this shit and don't talk about it.
And here we go.
Welcome to the freak show, the best in town.
Earlier today, I uploaded a version of 1112 King Road with night vision and enhanced audio. I'm sure there are people that have noticed the guy who walks out the door, right? You guys have seen the dude in the house across the street here. If I put this full screen, everyone's seen that dude, walk out, down this way. I noticed something that I haven't noticed before, and maybe this is well known, or if it's not, but I've never showed this. And the timing of this all is just very odd that he would open his door, look, close the door, a car leaves, he then opens his door and follows down that same road the car left to. And I'm going to play it right here. I mean, I don't know if they try to blur his ass out. You can kind of see him. But, dude, like random stuff like this, though. They say nobody's around. Nobody heard anything. There's a guy walking down the street. And you never see him walk back the entire time on this film.
Something like 94 people had been interviewed in the first 24 hours, and cleared of the investigation. So, I certainly didn't see 94 police reports of all the different people they questioned. So maybe they did question the guy. I don't know. Or maybe they just went around saying, what did you see? You didn't see anything? Okay, good. You're cleared. Like, they're only looking for people who saw what they needed to see. I don't know.
Wednesday, December 3rd. Do not miss this stream. I'm going to give a sneak peek here. This is just crazy shit. So, like I said, there's little things that I picked up on. I've stared at my phone way too long to the point where my fingers have gone numb. I've probably done what do they call it? Like ulnar nerve, the ulnar nerve from your elbows. I can't feel my fingers anymore. But I've absolutely destroyed the 1112 King Road footage to the point where it's not even going to be a question.
I'm getting prepared to sue Moscow Police Department, and I'm going to go through the proper process to do it. But one of the things I think you should do with a video like that is if I were you, I'd consider, you don't need to do it, but I would consider sending it to several major news outlets with a notice that I'm going to let people know you guys have this footage and you refuse to show it if you refuse to show it. This should be breaking news. I'm going to send you the footage and I'm going to get a certified copy that you received it so that I can prove you received it. And then I'm going to call you out if you just sit on this shit and don't talk about it, because you should be talking about it. So I think we should put some pressure on some people.
I just need another half day tomorrow to dial this in. And DA showed you a little bit. Isn't it kind of scary that this is what they are doing?
Yeah.
Conspiracy bullshit aside, if you didn't know me and I showed you this for the first time, you'd be like, holy shit. That window of the crime and all the circles is bullshit. There's only one or two passes. And when you fast forward the audio and you speed it up to the normal sound, you're going to be able to know what passes are legitimate.
Right.
And it's mind blowing.
Yeah.
You have your the daylight Moscow footage. I have not seen that yet. I've been meaning to watch the Custody Queens stream that you were on. Do you want to add that? Or I can add that actually.
I think there's lots of shit to talk about in the video. Turning onto King Road Avenue, or King Road, and you're going to immediately turn onto Queen Road. We're going to look right at 1112, which is the house that caught the Hyundai Elantra a bunch of times. So stop here about if you can.
On camera.
So there to your right is that green house that you were showing just a minute ago, the one that you see the Elantra. So the one off to the left, you can see a sliver on the left edge of 1112 King Road residence that has a camera facing that greenhouse. That's where you see the Elantra coming and going. So it's making this turn from King Road onto Queen Road, which is immediately to our left. And as I pointed out, the weird thing about it is the addresses of those houses, they're technically on Queen Road, but because the front of the house faces King Road out here, they have King Road residence numbers, but they're actually kind of more on Queen. And by the way, before I forget, I believe in this video footage, like this is why I wanted to talk about with you live. So I believe okay, so on the left edge, you see a little sliver of 1112 King Road residence. To the immediate right of that is that flat blue, dark blue house. That I believe is where Emily Alant and Hunter Johnson were staying that night. That's where they were actually in that house. And it's important. I'll tell you, there's several reasons why. One, my wife and I looked up addresses of Emily Alant, and it's that address right there. It's that house, Emily Alant. And it's interesting because on interviews, they said they were staying at the Whites.
Right.
That's the address. That is the address Emily Alant is registered at living at, is that address right there. I think that's where Hunter and Emily were at. I think they either lied or we misheard them about being at the Whites, or they were staying at the Whites at a party and weren't at their house, because that is where Emily Alant's address is listed, is that flat house right there. Also, I believe Jack DeCoeur lives right up here in this cul-de-sac. And so that's another important part. We'll get to that a little bit later, but so if you want to keep rolling, we'll talk about them more.
All the time when you see the white Hyundai Elantra, that's the famous 1112 King Road residence. When we came over with Joe, people were partying all over the deck. I swear this truck's always here, including 3 years ago. I'm not sure that car ever moves. To the right where the house was, it's been torn down. Memorial to, we'll walk that in a minute. That's the lot, Rhonda. It's tiny, isn't it? It's very tiny. We're going to go behind the house where the killer allegedly went and parked. Molly McMichaels also said when she was delivering the food, she came up here behind the house. It told her to walk down behind the slope into the back of the house, which we will get some footage on the ground with that. Super tight, as I always say. This would be the look that the killer would have supposedly parked to be looking right in the back windows of the house before going there. Some allege he could have seen when they went to bed and turned the lights off. It would have been a good location, and I'll grant that it is a good location to see when people are going to bed in the house. Covered by trees. So you're.
And just for reference, this was 2 or 3 weeks ago. I mean, this is same time of year.
Yes. Yep. The foliage you see on the ground is kind of representative of how, because it's fall. So the autumn leaves you see are the same as it would have been roughly at that time of year. What you didn't see, by the way, as another thing, what you didn't see, and you don't have to back up and show it, as we pulled into that lot, there's a house directly in front of us. If you pull into that lot just a little bit, and then as we turn as you turn here, bam, stop there. There's a house right there back through those trees. That house is angled at such a way that it looks into the back of 1122 King Road residence. It's actually kind of at a diagonal. It looks right into the back. It also has a dog that barks that sounds a lot like Murphy. Every fucking dog in this neighborhood who barks, people say, there you'll hear Murphy barking. There's like at least 3 dogs that bark at my wife and I when we're out here, all of which have kind of a similar register. That house has a dog in the yard right now. But anyways, if you remember, there was some discussion that the people who lived in the house behind 1122 King Road residence had complaints about the girls. They had complaints about noise complaints. They were pissed off about the parties at the place. That, I think, is the house that looks right down into the girls' apartment who had beef with the girls over noise complaints. So again, when you're looking into alternative suspects, did you clear this guy? And just all these people who had reasons to be pissed off in the area. That's one, that house right there that looks right into the back of 1122 King Road residence.
So the gray house there that's taller is one.
Did I tell you about the Hindu temple?
Right beside it is a dark blue house. I don't know what the number.
No.
So get this. If you right now were to go to Google and you search for Hindu temple in Moscow, Idaho, it'll point to this lot right here, 1122 King Road residence. But if you look at the map, but if you look at the map, it'll be pinned on that blue house in front of us, the lower blue house. It'll list the Hindu temple. It's ARJ Hindu temple. Now, I did some research and digging into it. There is no Hindu temple in there. And so they basically, ChatGPT says somebody edited Google and put in the address and called it a Hindu temple just for a gag or whatever. But there is no Hindu temple, but it's listed. 1122 King Road residence is listed as a Hindu temple now. And that house in front of it is actually with the pin in it for being a Hindu temple.
It really is.
So what's weird is, see how the pin is on the house that's the lower blue house? That's where the pin is for ARJ Hindu Temple. But if you look in the Google description, it says the address is 1122 King Road.
What do you think ARJ means? Does anybody know?
So I looked into that because I was trying to find out what it means in Sanskrit or whatever. And it basically, they said that they think it's just a person's name. Arjuno or something like that is a common Hindu name. So it's probably the name of the person who made the pin, putting their name on it as a kind of a gag or whatever. That was their guess. There's no meaning in Hindu in Sanskrit that has to do with ARJ. So they guessed it was just a common name that somebody used and abbreviated and put on. That was their guess. So I don't know. I couldn't find any real connection.
What's Kopaka's middle name?
Lee.
Oh, damn.
Brent Lee Kopaka. Yeah.
I was looking at a pattern and I thought, did they forward each letter one letter?
Oh, yeah.
Brent, whatever. Yeah. So, but it's not. If that would have actually been it, where like if it would have been
right.
If it would have been AKJ, I would have lost.
Look at how fast your mind works. You just immediately went into like, you know what? I'm telling you, I don't mean to swing off of your, you know what, but that's a sign of high intelligence. You immediately look for patterns, and then you can like, okay, if you just subtracted one letter from, that's all what IQ is about, is seeing patterns. And like, if I add one to this and add two to this, I get this. And you seeing those patterns.
That's really what the first thing was that was going through my head was like, what suspects are those initials for?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is somebody like editing it because they know?
Right. It's really weird. It's really weird.
I don't get how this connects with the King Road down.
Footwise.
Look at all the white cars.
You can walk between the buildings.
So
that's way more of an incline than you would think.
You have to flip around and go back to
pretty
the King
steep,
Road,
yeah.
But you can walk there.
In fact, my old ass gets
Just a few
winded
feet.
walking this hill, so don't pick on me for that shit.
Although, you'd have to go down there. Okay, we might have to go down there. Yeah. There's a little walkway down into this area.
Oh, yeah, that's easy to get through.
Oh yeah, super.
Easy peasy. Now, straight in front of us is the Queen Road Apartments. You can go car or foot to the right. Or, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take you to that staircase I showed you earlier. We're going to the left, right between these two apartment buildings, and down a flight of stairs and right into the King Road house.
Oh my God, that's the same bark. Listen to this.
That was like the old stuff, right?
Yeah. Tell me that dog doesn't sound like all the isolated audios we've seen of the dog.
Linda Lane Apartments to Queen Road. Just about.
Turn, show.
Yeah, I did. I came across it.
We're nearing the end. We're going to go across one more path, and then we're going to listen to the Westminster Bells.
So right here beside us, Linda Lane Apartments with this retaining wall. Queen Road right here with the walkway we just walked between. This again is the a lower parking lot. You can't drive all the way through to Linda Lane because there's this retaining wall right there that would keep you from driving. So you can walk, no problem, little foot area. We'll look at that one more time at the foot area. So right there is the easy footpath from Linda Lane down into the Queen Apartments. And then you can also drive.
Okay, hang on.
So,
are you
yeah,
about to talk about the cameras?
Yeah, you saw a camera right there too in the corner of that building.
Yeah, well, hang on. When you walk over here, I went back a little bit. Let's look at the amount of this also could be after the crime. So what date exactly was this?
This right here?
November what?
November 17th, I think.
Did you see any college kids?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, you got a camera up there on the left.
Yep.
You got a camera here.
Yep. And
Are
before
those
you roll,
new?
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know if those are new. Before you roll this, by the way, the reason why you see my hands come up in the camera is I just heard the Westminster bells in the distance, and I wanted to get my watch out to see what time it was, because I'm like, holy shit, did we accidentally literally just walk this neighborhood at exactly the top of the hour? So we're at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. My wife even pulls up her watch twice, and if you look carefully, you'll see it just off the leading edge where it says 4 o'clock on her thing. And so that's what I wanted to. That's why we're doing that. You'll hear it really, if you care, you'll hear it really well when we get closer. But the reason why I'm putting my hands up is I heard the bells and I started to lift my hands to look at the time real quick.
I don't know if you guys can hear it. In the distance is the Westminster bells. Somebody asked me to time the bells. Can you hear it? We'll have to time them.
4:03.
Let's time it.
Yeah, you can hear it.
Oh, here we can hear it better over here. Okay, listen, people, listen. One,
I can't hear it very well in here. Is there any way to turn it up a hair?
2,
It's the loudest it goes.
3, 4, 5. There you go, folks. Just
So it rang 5 times, because some of the
Yes.
research that I've done on the bells says that it would ring the number of times for what time it is.
Yes.
So
That-
is your watch accurate to local time?
Yes. Yes. So our watch is local time. It's 4 o'clock and it does ring 5 times. Apparently, I don't think they actually changed the bells. When I had the custody queens on, we had a long discussion about how common it was for bells to be off at college campuses. We had a long discussion about it, but just for what it's worth, we talk a little bit, Ron and I, about all the controversy around the bells, and how on one of the body cam footage you see an officer with their timestamp says one thing, but the bells in the distance ring a different thing. That's still happening 3 years later to the date where the bells are off of an hour. So anyway,
You know, it's interesting too. I never knew that there was like the intro to the rings. You can faintly hear like the intro bells, like going a little bit quicker before the ding.
Yeah. Right, because
Ding.
I mean, for those who don't know, the way that the way those towers. So this is important for those who don't know. I sometimes I forget how many people don't know. Typically, on these type of clock towers, the Westminster bells will ring a whole series of chimes, that din 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 din, and it goes through the whole music thing. And then when that's done, it'll dong a number of times based on the hour. So if it's 3 o'clock, you'll hear dong, dong, dong. But you first have the intro music and then the 3 dongs to let you know it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon or whatever the case may be. Oftentimes, when it's late at night and it's 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, they turn off the pre-music because they don't want to bug the piss out of people with a big, huge, long song. So you'll still hear the dongs, but you won't have the pre-music. So a lot of that kind of stuff. Yeah, this is 5. So it's saying it's 5 p.m. when it's actually 4 p.m. local time.
I hope everybody has a great night. Please, please, please hit that like button, hit subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow. And I'll see you Monday. Cheers.
All right, sounds good. Bye.